What do you call someone who's taught over 5,000 classes, completed Ironman triathlons, competed in ultra endurance events, and once held a 24-hour yoga session for charity?
Well, we call him a friend. And today we get to share his story with you because beyond all those incredible accomplishments, he's a husband, he's a father of four, and one of the most grounded, intentional leaders that we know.
Absolutely. Today we are sitting down with our longtime friend, Anthony Chavez.
Hello, friends. Thank you for that sweet intro. Don't get me started.
Oh my goodness, we are here, so excited. Terry Shorter here with...
Kimberly Spreen-Glick.
And this is episode number 86. And you know what? There are instructors, and then there are those who leave a lasting imprint, a legacy on everybody they encounter. And Anthony Chavez is one of those people for sure.
Could not agree more. His journey spans decades of movement, growth, and leadership. He fell in love with group exercise, yoga, teaching over 5,000 classes, and became a respected voice in both yoga and personal development.
Yeah, but what makes Anthony truly special isn't just what he's accomplished, it's how he shows up with intention, with humility, with consistency, and of course, with heart.
He is a husband, he is a father of four, he's a full-time professional, an ultra-endurance athlete, and a leader, one of the kindest leaders I've ever met, who uses his life as a canvas for his work. And today, we are diving into the moments, the lessons, and the legacy behind a life dedicated to movement and connection.
Yeah, so welcome, Anthony. What's up?
What's up, you two? Thank you for having me. Seriously.
So glad you're here.
Thanks so much for saying yes and joining us today. We've been dying to get you online.
Took us a minute.
But
we did it. We got
We're
you.
busy humans.
That's okay.
We figured it out.
That's right.
It's
Busy
worth
people
it.
get
Hand
stuff
cranks
done,
and
right? Do you need that tissue? You do, huh?
I think I might.
You're going to need it.
These guys have me laughing before we even hit record, y'all. I'm not sure what to do.
Just keep laughing.
Just keep laughing.
So we want to make sure that people get to know you like we do. For me, I had the pleasure and the privilege of getting mentored and going through my yoga certification, my YTT, with Anthony leading us at the helm, and learned so much and inspired me to not just learn yoga, but share it with others, and have been doing it ever since. Do you know now it's been 12 years, 13 years
Seriously?
now, 13 years since you certified me.
Incredible. We still
Time
miss you,
moves.
Anthony.
It sure does.
We miss
I
you
miss
at
you all
Laguna
too.
Niguel.
And actually, I want to, let's start there. I just want to thank you, Kimberly, for that moment. That was 12-ish years ago.
Yeah.
And you brought me into your life, into your fold, and gave me an opportunity to lead in a way that I hadn't before. And it was one of those pivotal moments in my life. So thank you.
Well, we
I
were
know I've told you, but thank you here.
truly blessed to have you for, we'd be blessed to have you for a day. So to have you for as long as we had you, and I know other things were calling, and you're doing such amazing work now we're going to get to dive into, but the fact that we were able to cross paths and create anything together is a joy that I will always be thankful for. So thank you for saying yes.
Same. And, it's one of the things that we get to do. I'm just going to break our path a little bit, but having been leading classes, I think we're all close to 20 plus years at this point, which, we're joking about the mustache and most of it being white, but having been able to be in front of rooms for so long, I feel like at this juncture in my career, there is this obligation to pass it forward and to tap the next generation of leaders so that they can experience the things that we experienced and the life and the joy that, that we've been able to lead. I feel so lucky and blessed that a kid who grew up in LA in the 80s and 90s in a black and brown neighborhood gets to spend my career in a hot room, jumping around, talking shit and playing playlists for a living. Like, it's just wild. So it's part of what I wanted to talk about. And I love that we started there. To be able to pass it on and to tap the new teachers and to grow them and to give them opportunities that were afforded to me. So it's just a big ass thank you, because without you tapping me on the shoulder 12 or so years ago, I don't know where I'd be.
So, any teacher or aspiring teacher that has an opportunity to learn from you, which I'm sure Terry can attest to,
Yep.
is always going to be the better for it.
Absolutely. 100. So going back, I'm sure we're going to be going back further than 12 years. Take us back to the beginning of your journey, Anthony. How did you get started with group exercise, with yoga, and what made you love it? And today, why do you still love it?
All right.
Here
Do you
goes.
want the story that I tell in teacher training, or do you want the story that I tell my friends?
The story you tell
Yeah.
your friends.
We want
Come on
that
now.
one.
That's a canned question.
Look at us. Look who
Come
you're
on
talking
now.
to.
That's a canned question.
I'm gonna give
Nobody's
them both
listening
to
to
you.
us.
Nobody's listening. So, and it's actually really fun to share it now. Again, at this juncture, where before I cared, and now I think it's just part of the fun. So, professionally, at that time, I was traveling the country as a personal development instructor, and I took my first class. And this is the part that I, in the past, have told TTers. I took my first class, and it was this perfect intersection of physical intensity. It was a yoga class, athleticism, heat, sweat challenge, and a lot of the topics and concepts that I had been sharing professionally as a speaker and personal development instructor. So immediately it was just like, ooh, this is what I need to be doing. And then it was a class on a Friday. I signed up for teacher training that very next morning, that Saturday morning. I remember calling the studio 10 or 11 times until somebody answered. And I said, hey, I was in there last night, and I want to do this for the rest of my life. So that's how it started. It was an intersection between all the parts that I love. And then the newer addition to the story was that I was dating somebody who invited me to a class the week before, and I was watching a Dodger game, and I texted her like, yeah, I'll be right there. No fucking intention of going to some yoga class. Like, I'm a real man. I didn't go. And then she did not call or respond to a thing for an entire week. It wasn't until the very next week, where it was roughly an hour before class, and I was like, hey, second invite. If you don't come, lose my number forever. Something.
Wow. The ultimatum.
Yeah.
Wow.
Drove my behind over, took the class, and then, as they say, the rest is history. And you know, she likes to take credit for my career. So
Could you share with us perhaps maybe an unforgettable moment from your teaching history? Maybe it's a goosebump story or a hilarious mishap or just a time a participant changed your perspective. I'm sure you have many.
yeah.
But...
The one that comes to mind is the one that has had the biggest effect on my life, and it's proposing to Nicole during a class that I was teaching.
Aw.
I don't know if either one of you have heard this story before or not.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
So it was a class that I was going to take, and it was my mentor's class. And she never misses class. And we had this whole thing set up because she knew that I was going to be proposing. And she basically faked like she was going to be late so that I would have to step in and sub the class. And Nicole and I were going together. So we showed up, and I'm like, babe, it's wild. I'm going to need to teach this class. And I'm probably going to have you demo something for me. And she was so mad because the room was filled with a bunch of, professional yoga practitioners who were all flexible and all that stuff. So she was like, why don't you ask one of the teachers here? Like, ask somebody else. Anyway, everybody knew about her. I think we had 80 people in that room. And I call her up to come and demo Birds of Paradise, and she gives me this look of death. She's like, the side eye. Because she's like, I told you not to call on me.
Oh, no.
Anyway, so then I actually bring her up to the front of the room, and I have live music that day. Somebody's singing and playing a guitar. So she does Birds of Paradise. She comes back down. I'm behind her with the ring. I themed the class on defining moments, and I basically said something to the effect that, like, this is a defining moment, and you're my defining moment. Will you marry me?
Wow.
And
That's
then,
Oh
beautiful.
my gosh, goosebumps.
yeah.
That's
So
beautiful.
then we had a whole
Wow.
circle where my mentor did a rolling om and blessed the engagement, and it was awesome. And this is a part of why I will do this for the rest of my life, because you just never know who you'll meet in that room. When I think about the friendships and the community and the camaraderie and all of the gifts of my life that have come from being inside of a group fitness room, it's unbelievable. Like, in a separate conversation, it's funny, I was leading a training on Monday for somebody, and I said, look, the product is not even the exercise. What we're selling, if you think about it, is an empty hot room that sometimes smells funny, and people are paying monthly for that. So
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
we've got to take it off of that and look at what are we actually doing. We're creating experiences and building community and building lifelong friendships. We're teaching people how to be empowered, how to believe in themselves again, how to find catharsis. Like, it's so much more. And if I just, look back at what it's given me, this is why I'll do this forever, because of what it can provide for so many people. And the format for me doesn't even matter.
Right.
Yoga, on a bike, dancing, jumping jack class, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah. As long as that heart is in it. Heart
It's
is
the
in it,
heart.
that
We're just
passion,
talking
right?
about
We're
that.
just talking about it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And so for you, being in this industry for as long as you have, and serving the amount of people that you had at the highest level so far, how do you stay inspired to continue teaching with passion and intention? How do you keep your cup full?
Yeah, it's a continuation of what I was just saying. It's staying really connected to my intention and to my why. I just believe and have seen it in thousands of people at this point. The impact that we can have while we're in that room, like it. On a more serious note, it is a high responsibility, because what we say in there, people do listen to. People will feel it. They're vulnerable. We're on a pedestal, deserved or not. And there's a whole nother conversation that we can have about where people take advantage of it in the wrong way. Yeah. But when you step into the fullness of the responsibility and you look at someone in the eyes and you say, hey, I believe in you. You deserve better for your life, or you can have more, or you don't have to be this way anymore. People actually take it to heart and they change. And so that, for me, is the why. That's what keeps me inspired. In a bigger, broader stroke, I believe that this is why I've been put on the planet, to help wake people up to what's possible for their life. And the delivery is sometimes one-on-one in a Zoom, or in a boardroom, or in that sweaty, sometimes smelly room where we're all moving and breathing together with some badass jams. But that's what keeps me inspired. And if I pull some of my athletic background, or not even that, like inspiration, I'm going to paraphrase this, but Kobe Bryant was once asked about the number of games that some of the current professionals were sitting out, and he said something to the effect of, like, I don't know who's there and if they've saved their entire life to be there to get that one moment of me. Like, I'm going to show up and give my heart and soul no matter what, because it might be the only time that this little kid will see me, or this grown-up who has saved for a year to come to the Forum or the Staples Center. And I take that same type of approach every time I step into a yoga room or group fitness room or festival or anything. You just never know what people are showing up with. So when I say it's a responsibility, I mean that. Anyway, long ass answer to your question. It's about holding that intention and that why close to my heart. And when I source from there, there is an abundance of energy, and I don't think it'll ever run out. It only runs out when I forget. And that happens too. And I'm sure you both can attest to it, and you've been there. You've absolutely mailed classes in over 20 years of another chaturanga, but staying close to it keeps it nice and tight.
And you know what
Got
I
it.
loved is when you said the word inspiration, I had a strong feeling we were either going to hear something about Kobe Bryant or Bob Proctor. So I'm glad we heard about one of those. And I so
Good.
appreciate what you said, because I always think about that when I go in to teach, no matter what I'm teaching, yoga, cycle, strength training, kickboxing. I look at those people and I'm like, I don't know what they did to get here. I mean, I don't know what they went through, what hoops they had to jump through, what
Well,
they
they
had to knock off their
sacrificed.
to-do list,
Yeah.
who they had to fight for a parking spot. Like, you know, you never know what they took, just to, not only what they're going through in their lives in general, but just that day, that moment, what they went through to get in that room.
Yeah.
And you have to, you have to honor that.
Always.
So I appreciate that you shared that. It's huge.
Yeah, I just keep that at the forefront of my heart as much as possible. And, you know, some days are better. And as long as I'm connected to that, I have the inspiration. And then the second part of your question was, what do I personally do? And it's staying connected to my practice and to the teachers who inspire me. Especially for younger people on this journey, it's to stay connected to the teachers who inspire you. To keep practicing yourself. It's the first thing that I, as well as you, have seen teachers give up their own personal practice.
Yeah.
And when I say practice, I'm not talking about yoga, just the things that got them inspired to take the seat of the teacher in the first place. So it's to stay close to your teachers. It's to keep your teachers in your world. And then the harder part, I think, is to not get callous or judgmental as you gain experience in this world. It's to stay curious. So those are things that help me, you know, taking a brand new teacher's class in any format and really being curious and grateful that they would actually show up and be brave enough to do this. But on the other hand, I know when I find less inspiration, when I start to get flat, that's the first place I look, and I'm like, oh, I haven't taken a class in a week and a half. I should probably go do that.
Yeah.
What I also
It's
know
just
about
pouring
you,
from the empty cup.
yeah, right. What I also know about you from many, many, many moons ago, and we talk about this a lot, but the importance of always being a student first. And one of the things I've always appreciated about you, and I remember it just came up as a Facebook memory, actually, a picture of you taking my strike kickboxing class.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the day you jumped in there and you're swinging that bar around. I'm like, my yogi friend Anthony is taking my kickboxing class. This is wild. And that day, I don't know if you remember, but we had a conversation and you were talking about all these different, that's how I learned that you had studied like Bob Proctor and all these different personal development teachers and such. And I'm like, wow, I mean, the fact that you, even beyond the yoga, which is something that we had shared in common. We had an interest in studying and being a student in all these other areas of, you know, personal growth and development and spirituality and different wisdom traditions. And you've always been such a lifelong learner in those areas. And I think the more people can realize that expanding into any area that you're passionate about and passionate learning about, it's going to help you be a better leader. And I think it's one of the things that catapults you to top of the top, cream of the crop. Did I just seriously have a Dr. Seuss moment?
You sure did.
Top of the
Dr.
top,
Seuss
cream
called
of the
Hop on
crop.
Pop. That's right.
Wow. Okay. But I do think that it speaks volumes. So
It does.
I appreciate
you.
that. But that said,
I love that we hold that in common.
oh yeah, big time. Still do. That being said, you know, being a leader, being an instructor, doing what you do, it's not always easy. So what would you say in the role that you play, what has been your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
I'll give you two answers. The inside answer, I don't know, they're just two answers. One of them is noticing that I'm getting older and our student base is not. Or my
Yes.
student base at
Yes.
times.
Sure.
At times. So that was a challenge for a little bit. Just thinking about how do I stay relevant? How do I stay current? Am I too old for this? So like a lot of self-doubt. That's the answer. I was like, for like a lot of like, am I still
relevant
to
Yeah.
be doing this?
Yeah.
And is actually a really cool learning moment because it's given me the opportunity to stay relevant, to stay current, to stay on top of things. In a lot of ways, it's keeping me energetically young and in the game. So that I remember that being a really big challenging moment. And I think it was it was sometime in the 40s. I'll be 48 this year. I think it was, 42, 43, 44. It was probably when this was like more white than black. And I'm like, ooh. And also, right, I've always been called somebody's yoga dad. And then
Now,
when I noticed
you're
that,
daddy.
yeah.
Wait a minute. That took a
Terry,
turn.
what's up?
Listen,
Yeah.
I hear it now too. I know what he's talking about, and I don't have the mustache.
No, but I was like, oh, you're actually the age of my son. Like, there's a 20-year age gap now.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, this is cool. So how do I continue to share the wisdom that I've accumulated by doing everything wrong/right over this 50 years on the planet and still make it land for a group that is outside of my generation?
Right.
That was a challenge that I've like really embraced on the back end, but I remember that had me in a little bit of a chokehold for a minute. I'm like, ooh,
And that's a
what am I
tight
doing?
chokehold too.
Mm-hmm. And then this one just sucks. I don't know. You'll both get this. This is super recent. So I teach primarily vinyasa, and I'll every now and then teach a sculpt, which is the yoga with weights. And I've recently had to start stretching before I teach, and I'm like, oh,
And after?
and after too.
yeah. Because when I teach, and I think both of you, for the most part, I'm not doing.
Right.
I'm walking around talking my shit, doing my thing, and I'm like, God, I gotta fucking stretch before I do this now. Like I'm at a whole nother bracket of life, and I think it's hilarious because I do mobility. I'm in great shape, all that stuff. I'm like, I can't just
Can't just go out there and wing it.
raw dog a sculpt class anymore. I gotta. I'm like, yeah. So that's been a fun challenge.
If you have access to a power plate, we are both huge proponents.
Yes.
Every Tuesday,
Okay.
Thursday morning before he teaches his ripped, if I'm on the workout floor, I see him stretching on the power plate before
class.
he goes to teach.
Before I do
Before
the
teaching.
warm-up. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So, youngins out there, don't take it for granted because
No.
you can be in the best shape ever, and you're still going to have to stretch before you put a microphone on and do nothing.
But here's the cool thing, Anthony, is that you have embraced it and chosen to evolve.
Yep.
Which, if that means I have to stretch before, during, after, next day,
And tonight?
like, whatever, I need to roll it out. Like
Before I go to bed.
whatever I need to do, I'm
Actually,
gonna honor.
I have embraced it, and I'm going to be nerdy about it too,
Nerd
specifically
out.
when it comes to yoga. Right, without getting to a whole yoga conversation, the postures themselves are not that old. Like people have
Right.
been playing baseball
Yeah.
and driving forwards longer than we've been saying star pose. So with that, and with the way like I teach a modern dynamic vinyasa for the most part, I will now have a lot of mobility style movements for hips and lower back. A lot of my programming inside of an asana class is designed to help mitigate injury for people outside of the room. And I
Right.
think that's super cool.
Huge.
So my own practice has evolved in a lot of ways to take care of this thing. It looks different, but it's helping me, as much as we're joking about stretching it before and after, it's just really helping me. And I can also say this too with some, as a cautionary tale and with some pain in my heart, that there is a big divide with people who are my age. Some of them, they're like us, and we're out there living and running up and down mountains and chasing kids. And then there's other people who are exactly my age who are just really deconditioned
Couching
and
it up.
hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can't enjoy their life or their children. And so as much as we joke about having to stretch before we teach, it's super cool to be able to program that in and then to see it in real life, where there's some people who are like, oh, I should be grateful that I have to stretch before I teach sculpt.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And we always talk about the fact that we want to keep moving throughout all these stages of life. And if it comes to a point where we look at something we used to be able to do easily, and we could technically still do it now, we always have to follow it up with, but
What's
at what
the cost?
and then make a conscious choice, right? And you know what?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay.
It totally is. One of my dreams that I will execute on is to be able to do an Ironman with my youngest, with Jackson.
Wow.
He's 6 years old now. So 10-ish years from now, it would be really cool to run a big ultra endurance event side by side with him while I'm in my 60s.
And we
That would
cannot
be
wait to have you
that would be fun.
both on the podcast when you both complete it. So
That'd be awesome.
that'll be awesome.
That would be rad.
Cool.
That is, I love that you're looking ahead and future pacing like that. That we gotta envision it first, right?
Absolutely.
Speak it out and follow it up. It's gonna happen.
Everything begins with an intention.
Absolutely.
Look around. Every single thing on this planet started with a thought.
Yep.
For
And then
sure.
it was pen to paper, and then somebody made it.
Put into action. Absolutely.
No doubt.
Well, good stuff. And from here, Anthony, you've led such a rich career, a rich life so far, and let's kind of future pace, like I was saying before. If we fast forward now 20 years beyond, that after you finish the Ironman with your son, 20 years from now, what impact do you hope your group fitness career and your yoga career leaves behind? I mean, what do you hope that your participants will say about the experiences that you've provided?
Well, my wish is that people remembered who they were. That they remembered that they had everything they've ever needed right here, and they went out and lived lives that were big and bold and free.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the wish. That would, if that's what's on the tombstone, that would be cool.
I like that.
The privilege of a lifetime is to be who you are. And that is just one of my favorite quotes of all time. It's awesome. So good.
That's it, though. Yeah, I love that perspective of it. That's another great way to say it. If people just remembered who they were and they went out and did that, that would be cool. And then the secondary one would be that people found their people as well.
Yeah, the connection. It's essential. Yeah.
And I think you two have been in the same boat too, but I've facilitated so many romantic relationships in that room. And so many, not all of them work out, but like also just groups of friends that they go on retreats together, they travel the world together, they're in each other's weddings. I think that would be a really cool secondary piece of the hope of my career, is that because we all got in a room and put our guard down and breathed and moved, that we were vulnerable enough to build lifelong relationships. That'd be like a part 2 of it.
That's legacy.
That's absolutely.
It's like us, we've been in each other's lives for a long time.
A wee bit.
And here we are.
A wee bit. Seems like yesterday, though.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, when I put you in a 4-minute plank, you don't soon forget.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Nostalgia.
And we can't talk legacy without bringing up prolific personal development.
Right.
Would you mind sharing a bit about that work that you do as well?
Yes. Yeah. So back to the beginning of my origin story, that was the work that I was doing prior to ever stepping into a group fitness room. And then the short arch of my career was that I've been able to put together my personal development and coaching work and group fitness and put them together into a career. So then fast forward in 2020, when everything got kooky, I left the position that I was at and basically came back to day one and relaunched my coaching and speaking career. And I haven't had a job since, or haven't had a boss since.
There we go.
Good for you.
So the way that my life is structured now, it's coaching, it's speaking, it's teaching trainers, it's helping different organizations, some small, some big, doing leadership development, culture development, and teacher development. And then prolific personal development is like the official speaking business, but it's so funny that you bring this up, because just a couple of weeks ago, I'm thinking of bringing them all together, because it really is. I have people who I coach for who are in the financial services industry who will end up going on my yoga retreat. And then a yoga student who will hire me to go work with their company and build out their core values. So it's all the same.
Interconnected,
But
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, it is. It's just all the same. There are just different entry points.
Sure.
But the birth of that company came when I stepped away from the position I had and said, okay, I'm essentially going all in on me, and we're going to build this. And it has been such an incredible 5.5 years of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
It's
changing
a blast.
lives along the way for the better.
Definitely.
It's nothing more fulfilling.
Not the easy path.
No, not at all.
We know from experience, but it is well worth taking. And I love that you have the logo on the wall behind you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's fun.
It's cool.
So when you have an upcoming event, you have a retreat that's coming up out in Monterey. Give us a scoop. How many are you doing a year? How can people connect with you as well?
Yeah. Okay. So the big things I have this year and ongoing, this year I have 2 yoga retreats. One in Tulum in September that I will be co-leading with my wife for the first time ever.
Wow,
So
how
that's
cool.
really special. She's been teaching for 12 years. So this is long overdue. And then I'm doing something fun and different that I've not done before. I'm doing an adult yoga summer camp here
Sounds
in
like fun.
Colorado.
That's awesome.
All of these yoga retreats are always at some fancy beach, and it's
Right.
like,
Let's go
yes,
camp.
and I love that. And I said, you know what? Let's go play in the mountains. Let's do adult yoga summer camp. So that's happening this July.
Nice.
And then the one that I'm going on next week, that's more seminar work. That is straight personal development. We do meditate. We do move our bodies, but it's a deep dive into here.
Sure.
And that's a bigger thing. We have, I think, 89 attendees this year.
Good for you.
Next year, we're probably going to get it up to 150, and then we'll max out that property.
Nice.
But it's probably a whole nother podcast. It is the center of how I operate my life. It's what I learned there is, and what we create there is essentially the operating system for my life and how I parent, how I run my businesses. So it's huge. But those 3 things are this year. And then the easiest way for people to hang out with me right now is through Instagram.
Okay.
I have my travel schedule there, all the cities I'm teaching in there. Plus, that's the easiest way to get on my mailing list where you get all the details for everything fun.
And that is Anthony Chavez Yoga, I believe, yes?
I have so many. I'm such a music geek.
You are. But it's that
That's the
one.
hardest question that you sent me.
Right?
I was like, no, I'm not going to answer that shit. Okay, so I've been a lot of Kendrick lately.
Okay.
A lot of Kendrick. I also have a playlist that is called The Closers, and that's what some of the best closers in professional baseball run out in the field to.
Oh, there we go.
Those songs have been firing me up, but they
snap.
span all decades, from like Metallica to Bad Bunny.
Sure.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
but I would have to say over the last year, it's Kendrick Lamar.
All right. And do you have your closers playlist on Spotify where people can grab
I
it?
do. My whole Spotify playlist is public.
All
There's,
right.
I think,
Awesome.
like over 500 playlists on there.
Snap.
So
there we go.
for
And is
students and teachers, have at it.
it under Anthony Chavez Yoga as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
I don't know if we got cut off there. Easiest place to reach me is at Anthony Chavez Yoga on Instagram, and then you can join my mailing list, and that's where all the good things. You'll find out where all the good stuff is happening.
Your
'Cause
life-
I do get
your
to
life
travel
will be
all over
better.
the place and teach.
If you join Anthony Chavez's email list, your life will improve.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
That's what we're saying.
Perfect. You said it. I didn't.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, Anthony's journey is certainly a reminder that, fitness and yoga, it's not just about what happens in the room, it's about the lives we touch along the way.
Yeah. And so when you lead with passion, consistency, like I said earlier, heart, the impact goes far beyond the workout. It just really, truly becomes a part of somebody's story, just like Anthony's.
So if this conversation with Anthony inspired you, share it with your fitness family, tag someone, and let us know who's made an impact on your journey. We'd love to hear from you. And Anthony, thank you so much for giving us a bit of your time and energy. We had a few technical difficulties, but we made it happen.
Yes, we did. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing your feedback. Get in touch with Anthony. Get in touch with us. And until next time, we encourage you to make it a great day. And why, Kimberly?
Because it's a great day to have.
Sure is.
Much love.
Peace out.